PinePhone developers have been making a lot of progress on the PinePhone camera, so let's go over all the new camera features that have been added. Mobian added support for the camera in early July. Wow, it's already been 3 months. Since then, a lot of progress has been made on the PinePhone camera. Finally, one of the biggest missing features on the PinePhone is almost complete and ready to go. Let's go over some of the progress made on the camera for different OSs. Mobian was the first OS to support the camera out of the box with no changes. But the camera app was very choppy when trying to take photos, so the experience for taking photos was very annoying because of how choppy the camera app was. Luckily, Mardich and Bram has been working on a new camera app called Megapixels. This camera app has about double the frame rate for the image preview, although it still isn't buttery smooth. It also supports both the front and back camera, which is something Mobian's old camera app doesn't support. Now, I noticed that the lighting is super scuffed on the front camera. It seems to be only picking up green for some reason. I don't know, I'm not a camera expert, but it is cool that the front camera works at all on the PinePhone, considering that getting support for even just the rear cameras was very recent. The Megapixels camera app is made for post-market OS, and it's installable through the Alpine Linux testing repos. However, the Megapixels camera app is also pre-installed on Arch ARM, and Mobian recently switched this camera app over its old one. Ubuntu Touch also has a functioning camera app right now, although it functions about the same as Mobian's old camera with very choppy frame rate. Although the UI is actually the best of all the camera apps for Linux phones that I've tried so far. Also, at the beginning of September, there's a Reddit post from an Ubuntu Touch developer showing GPU acceleration working on the camera, allowing rendering at full 30 FPS on 720p, which is about what you would expect from Android and iOS. And soon it will be available for the majority of PinePhone users who use Ubuntu Touch. In the last video I made about the camera I made back in July, I showed off some sample photos of the Mobian camera. So I got many more sample photos taken in post-market OS using the new Megapixels app. If you follow me on Twitter, you got a sneak peek of some of these photos. The camera is still mostly bad. It's kind of like taking photos from a webcam on a laptop. Everything is low in dynamic range and the colors are bad, and the camera has a lot of issues in low light environments. However, I believe that the camera might be able to improve with software. The $350 Google Pixel 4a only has one 12 megapixel camera, yet with software it's able to take photos that rivals the Samsung Note 20 Ultra, which has a camera with over 100 megapixels and two other 12 megapixel cameras. Yet somehow the Google Pixel 4a is still able to rival it because of software. This really shows the power of camera software, so if the software improves, the photos could be more and more usable. So I think the camera will be daily driver ready very soon, especially since there hasn't been any color correction yet. So once there's some color correction software added, I think the colors in the photos will get a lot better. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Thanks to my patrons who contribute $5 or $10, Ashton Scott Snap, Jim Peter, Sam Covey, and Mitchell Vantino. The support really helps the channel, and I'm working on a huge Patreon exclusive right now, so see you guys. Oh god, I hit a chair.